Hello friends, this is Mohit Khatri. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will learn about how to connect database with the ASP.NET MVC project. In the first video of this playlist, we have already created a new ASP.NET MVC project. So if you have not watched that video, I recommend please watch it first to get aware how to create the ASP.NET MVC project. In this video, we will learn about how to connect the database with ASP.NET MVC project. So there are two approaches by which we can connect the database with the MVC project. These are the database first approach and the code first approach. In this video, we will use database first approach to connect the database with the MVC project. In the upcoming videos, we will use also show you how to connect the database with the code first approach. Let's start demoing the database connection with the database first approach. So currently I have already created one sample project named DB first approach, database first approach, which we will use to connect the database with this project. So as we are already aware as part of the previous video, so there are three main components in the MVC project, which are M stands for model, V stands for views, C stands for controller. So we have already seen controllers and views in action by running the project. In this video, we will see the purpose of having the models. So what are actually the models? Models are nothing. These are the database tables which we have created. So as we have already created a table called user in our database. So when we are connecting the database with this MVC project, there will be a class generated for that table. So those classes we can refer as a models. Say if there is a table called user, so in that class, the class name will be generated user.cs class. So that class we can refer as a models. So models are nothing. These are the classes which are replica of the database tables, where the fields of the database will be generated as the property of the classes. We will see it in action in just a moment. So let's start connecting the database using DB first approach. So for this is the models folder which is already automatically created when we generate the new project. So you can right click on it and click on add and then click on the new item. So once you click on the new item, this pop-up appears where you can choose the data option and then choose ADO.NET entity data model, where you can give any name to this entity connection. Say I give it DB first approach entity and then click on add. So and you can choose the first option, EF designer from database. This means like you are generating your classes from the database. So we have already chosen this. Click on next button. Here you need to add the connection string. Click on new connection. Here you can add your server name. So to get these information, you can go to your SQL server, where when you are connecting to the SQL server, so you are giving all this information, the server name, the login and the password. So I have already copied the server name. You can add it here. You can choose either the Windows authentication or the SQL Server authentication. I am using the SQL Server authentication here. Username you can enter whichever you have set when you were installing the SQL Server. The password, your password which you have added while installing the SQL Server, and then you can choose the database to which you want to connect. So we have created this database MR3 social in the previous video. So I'm choosing it and then you can test the connection. This is succeeded. That means the connection is good. So click OK and then here you can choose either any option. I'm choosing this one. Yes, include the sensitive data in the connection string. Click on next. You can choose the version of the entity framework, anything which you like more. So I'm just using this entity framework 5.0. Click on next. Here you get all the tables and views or store procedure which you have created already in your database. So currently we have created one table in the database which is shown here. You can select it, click finish. Once you click on the finish button, the database whichever we have created and the table which we have chosen, using that entity frame, the EF designer diagram will be generated, which I will just show you. So here you can see the entity.edmx file is generated, where you can see your table which you have created in the database is showing up here. This is the table name. These are all the properties. These are all the columns which we have in the database. These are showing here. And when you come down here under this section, DB first approach entity.tt, there are all the tables as a classes will be created, like the user table which we have created, that is showing here as a like a class. So this is the user class which is generated. So far we have already seen in action how to use database first approach to generate a database in the SQL Server and then connect it with the ASP.NET MVC project. In the upcoming video, we will use this connection and then we will populate the data from the database in the ASP.NET MVC project. So currently we can see the connection is working fine. Now we will populate the data from the database into the MVC project. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions or queries, please write us in comments. We are happy to assist you. Thank you.